Hi, everybody. This is Roger from Digital Currency Index, and today we have the CEO of AdBank, John Gillum, with us. How are you doing today?
Great, Roger. Yeah, thanks for having me, and enjoy your stuff, and excited to be on here.
Yeah, I appreciate that because this is going to be an interesting one for us. You guys have already completed your ICO, and you guys actually sold out faster than you had allotted from a time perspective, which is brilliant because that means that there's pent-up demand for your product on the market. So for everyone that's watching this video, in about 5 to 10 minutes, we're going to give a special announcement, and we're going to be announcing the exchange that AdBank is going to be listing on, which is a first for Digital Currency Index. But before we do that, I want to familiarize you with this project because as a person with 20 years of digital marketing experience, I think this project's brilliant. And as DCI LLC did invest in this project. So John, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about your project?
Sure. Yeah. So my background is in the kind of similar to yours in the sort of online space, buying and selling online businesses. And then when I kind of fell down the blockchain rabbit hole, grabbed me, and it became very obvious that the middleman was going to get disrupted on sort of the applications that get built on the blockchain. And what AdBank is doing is at the simplest sense, providing payment transparency between advertiser and publisher. And right now that ecosystem is a bit of a mess. That it's the second largest source of organized crime funding is publisher fraud. Over 50% of traffic is bot traffic, and this is all sort of due to the lack of transparency that exists in that ecosystem. And so the simplest layer of kind of what AdBank is doing is building the payment protocol for being kind of the default cryptocurrency for digital advertising. And so that advertisers will be able to pay directly through to publishers, and will finally be able to actually understand kind of what is that ad tech tax that the middleman is taking. And just shining that light will help resolve a lot of the issues. And we've got a bunch of other kind of more advanced stuff happening from an artificial intelligence to fight fraud. But at the simplest sense, it's just providing that shining a light on a murky industry.
So being part of that industry, and I remember the first time that I saw your guys' website, your marketing message, and the problem you're trying to solve, is I really had to talk to a couple friends in the industry because we all acknowledge this problem, but we don't know how the hell you think you're going to solve it. So can you expand on that a little without getting too technical? Like, this is a big problem. It's very well needed, but how do you plan on fixing this?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that there's sort of a recognition in the space that in 5 years' time, there's no scenario that digital advertising has not been disrupted by blockchain technology and the introduction of that transparency. And the sort of the fundamental piece that is unique about AdBank is we're not out to say we're going to build a new ad network or ad tech platform and everyone's going to come join us. The sort of the build it and the field of dreams approach of the build it and they will come. And so our approach to sort of, I think it's obvious that this level of transparency in digital advertising is going to cause disruption. Our approach to solving that and to being that sort of that disruptive force is to have the application layer, the protocol layer that will allow existing ad tech to adopt the payment protocol platform of AdBank tokens, go out, start that disruption process through an acquisition strategy of going out, acquiring existing ad tech, converting it onto the AdBank platform, introducing that level of transparency that will allow advertisers to finally understand how much is flowing through to publishers, and simply not provide an opportunity for the fraudulent actors to do all of their bad performance that they're currently doing. And so once we have that sort of that transparency shown through, we have a patent pending on applying artificial intelligence on the blockchain to fight digital ad fraud, and then applying that artificial intelligence engine to start identifying the common traits of publishers that are performing fraudulent activities.
Yeah, and I think there's two parts of that's important, and one of them is going to lead to the next question is that what I really liked about your project was being the concept of almost middleware, that you don't need to reinvent the entire industry. There's aspects of it that work, but there is this connection between the publisher and the advertiser, that there is some things broken in the middle. So let them exist as they exist, but provide a solution in the middle. What I really think is brilliant is your strategy of using the acquisition model in order to gain market penetration. Can you talk a little bit about where that strategy came from and what type of deals you're looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, so Kyron's the CTO, the co-founder. He's the one that kind of geeks out on the tech and the artificial intelligence space. My background is in the kind of building and buying businesses. Ran the operations arm of a private equity company that rolled up online businesses. That's kind of where the idea came from a bit. And I'm full believer, blockchain is going to cause some incredible disruption, incredible sort of value to society. And, my contribution to this movement is going to be any kind of, amazing computer science evolution in that process. But I do think that there is a lack of aggressiveness of deployment of capital that gets raised through ICOs and this to cause the kind of disruption that can be caused. And so our approach is to take some of the capital that has been raised through our successful ICO that is now sold out early, and deploy that into going out and acquiring existing ad tech, which already has product market fit. So we're not trying to go build a platform that will hopefully achieve product market fit. We're going to go acquire existing tech that has product market fit. Our economic incentive changes from driving a profit through that entity to driving token volume, increasing the token volume, fixed supply, token holders potentially all happy. That's the sort of the genesis of the idea. And then once we have started that disruption snowball of the existing ad tech that we have acquired, converted that network, starting to drop profits, they're realizing the benefits of ultimately making more money because transactions with crypto are much cheaper than the traditional kind of financial system. Then we'll start stealing market share. And as those competitors start to say, the blockchain is going to disrupt digital advertising, I can either build my own in-house team, or I can adopt the open source decentralized AdBank protocol for payments, and we'll say we're here to help you do that. We don't want to compete with you as an ad network. Our moonshot is to become the default cryptocurrency for digital advertising.
And part of that is your platform. And one of the things that we liked about your project too is you've got a long timeline with a lot of different things you're going to do, but you have stuff coming up in the very near future as well. So It looks like phase one of your platform is going to launch when? Is that March of 2018?
Yeah, March 2018, we'll have a sort of industry standard quality ad network that will have our payment protocol allowing advertisers to have transactions flow directly through to publishers, and it's really meant as sort of that demonstration model of here's what this is going to look like when we go out to our target acquisitions and say we're going to convert you. Imagine this is what you look like before. This is what's going to look like after. Your clients, your customers are going to be happier for all of these reasons, and it's going to be a win on all fronts. And so it's meant as that sort of demonstration network. Well, we already have interest from industry partners on both the advertiser and publisher side who are going to be planning to come on board that. But the real sort of purpose of that network isn't to try and organically grow it, but to go use it as a demonstration case and then convert our first acquisition.
Yeah, because for those of you that are watching this, you have an ICO in January. You're going to announce your exchange release in February, and then your platform is going to release in March. That's a good strategy because it's in the best interest of everyone involved in your project, from your team to your clients, to potential acquisition partners, and to your investors. So I absolutely love that. Now, you've talked in detail about some of these things, and you mentioned that like 5 years from now, it's undoubtedly possible that blockchain, not possible, it is that blockchain is going to disrupt the way that digital advertising is done because of all of its transparency flaws currently. What is that big picture 5 years from now in just a few sentences?
Yeah, the big picture is that, right now the default currency that people measure digital advertising in is the return on the, dollar spend. And the 5-year plan, the moonshot, is that is to be the default cryptocurrency for digital advertising. And our platform strategy and the way that the AI machine is being built, the benefit is we will achieve network effects where the bigger we get, the better and more powerful we are from the standpoint, the tool will be from a standpoint of monitoring for fraudulent publishers. So we see a single long-term winner, and we think our strategy is like kind of the most in line with becoming that default cryptocurrency.
I love that. And in just a second, I'm going to have you tell us the exchange that you're listing on and the expected date of listing, which I believe has been softly confirmed now. But for our DCI audience, I hope you can see a lot of similarities in their project to a lot of things that we talk about. That the industry is lacking deployment of capital in the acquisition strategy. That's why DCI looks to buy website exchanges and apps that are in the digital currency investing side of the world. You see a lot of the machine learning and the artificial intelligence being applied to the ad space, just like our core marketing product, results.io does, but in a much larger scale from the perspective of AdBank. So we really find this project in direct alignment with a lot of our core values and missions. And this wasn't open to the US. It's sold out faster than expected. So there's a lot of pent-up demand. So we're going to be putting some strategies in there of how you can get in, place your orders early on the right exchange, and have an opportunity to take advantage of what we think is going to be a great 2018 for AdBank. So John, with that, would you like to announce the exchange that you're listing on and the date you plan on listing?
Yeah, so we've definitely, I would say, like, from a market cap standpoint, relatively small. From a, we've attempted to, have token holders' interest in mind with every decision we ever make. And so we will be listing on the most requested exchange that sort of people were talking about. They approached us, which keeps us legal from a securities law standpoint. And so we'll be listing on Kucoin on February 3rd.
Awesome. We actually recommended Kucoin a few weeks ago for another project. They had some problems with the Ethereum network a couple of weeks ago, and then a lot of different news. But what I really liked about Kucoin is even through that, they actually had support that responded, which is very rare today. So
really
you guys
rare.
made a good decision. And for all of the DCI members and Totally Crypto members and Insider Circle and ICO Club members, this is going to be a good one to watch. John, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this, and I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to make this announcement with you. I'm going to stop the recording. I got a question for you.